Hello guys, Chris here, welcome back to another video. With this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing a GeForce RTX 4070 Ti Super in God of War Ragnarök. This one is the MSI Ventus version of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers, and I'm going to overclock it just a little bit, because this is usually a little bit slower than the average 4070 Ti Super. Over in Tech Power-Ups GPUs, you can see all of the GPU specs. Resizable bar is also enabled right there, and we got 16 gigabytes of VRAM in this card, which is nice. And over on the left, I'm pairing it with a Ryzen 9 7950X3D CPU with half of its cores disabled, making it pretty much the same as the 7800X3D, and 32 gigabytes of RAM, 6000 MHz in dual channel, CL30. Let's get into it, shall we? Alright, let's go for the settings first. I am starting at 4K resolution, utilizing TAA native, which looks very good in this game actually, and the ultra settings preset here. The only thing I changed was I disabled film grain and motion blur down here. Let's do this, and as you can see, it's getting around 70-ish frames per second at 4K native res. That's pretty good on a 4070 Ti Super. I was expecting it to be a little bit slower, but it could also be because I'm here in this place. This is not really the most intensive area, but I decided in this video I'm just gonna play a little bit further into the game, you know, maybe kill some enemies and stuff like that. Whatever we encounter here in the next few minutes of gameplay in the story, because I'm a little bit tired of doing it every single time in the same place. So here we go, guys, something new for you to watch. Okay, while we benchmark the 4070 Ti Super, and it seems like it's doing a pretty good job. Also, this area, although it's a little bit less intensive than where I tested the 4080 Super and the 7900 XTX, is usually a little bit more intensive than the first couple of hours of gameplay that you'll encounter in this game. That's in the snowy area, forest area, you know. It's usually way less intensive there. Alright, anyway, I think we should probably land the boat somewhere, and that's because usually when you're walking around these areas, it gets slightly more intensive. It's not really the case here, though. It's surprising, guys. I mean, maybe we need to get back to the other part. Oh, that's a little bit of a shame once again. I like to test most intensive scenarios and so on, but yeah, it seems like this area right here is not intensive at all, unfortunately. Alright, wait a second, let me just grab my Shadow Blades. Shadow Blades? No, Shadow Blade is from the Dota 2, yeah. Alright, let's go. A little bit of an animation here, look at that. Oh boy, that is absolutely brutal. I love it, guys. Oh yes, come on. Goodbye, sir. There's another one right here. Let's go. Wait, we can actually grab this, throw it to him. Yep, there we go. Alright, so as you can see, in most of the game, this will be a really nice experience, even at 4K native resolution. Like, I can't slow this GPU down for some reason. It's really weird. Also, maybe we should shoot these things with the arrows? Yeah, there we go. Ooh, what the hell are we doing? Okay, let's try that one as well. Alright. Maybe this is only so the enemies wouldn't climb on top of them. Okay, alright, we're too late here. Yeah, guys, this is super detailed. VRAM is obviously enough here for 4K highest settings, although this game suffers from memory leaks still. So it might actually fill up that VRAM if you play like couple of hours straight, you know. It's not really a big deal. After a restart, it will go down to the same values that you're seeing here, but yeah, just keep that in mind. They need to fix that, okay? I really hope they do. I'm wondering if I actually have like DLSS enabled, because this is getting higher FPS than I was expecting. No, it's disabled. Like, we're using native res over here. Frame gen is disabled as well. It's pretty good, guys, but again, it's because we're here in this area, which is less intensive, unfortunately. Let's grab this. I guess I'm going to save the game right now. And now I've loaded the one that's in the more intensive area, and yep, down into the 60s. As you can see, it's not going to be 80 FPS or 70 FPS plus all of the time. And this isn't even the most intensive area in this part of the game. I'm gonna grab the boat there and go to a more intensive one. But yeah, as you can see, it can struggle a little bit at 4K resolution. Not that it's going to become unplayable or anything. And I mean, if you play with a controller, even at native resolution, you might not feel the FPS drops whenever they drop into the 50s, you know. So it is an extremely good experience. Without using the DLSS, you also get the highest quality possible out of the water, which is very, very shimmery whenever you utilize the DLSS. Unfortunately, that's one of the main issues I have with this, actually. Anyway, around here, I was expecting it to drop from 60 FPS, but nope, it's still hanging in there, my friends. That is super surprising, guys. I really was expecting it to stay between 60 and 70 most of the time with this particular GPU. It's doing a fantastic job at 4K native. Wow, very good results. I'm just gonna go over there because it's really intensive. It's the most intensive little spot that I've seen so far in the game. And here we have it. This is it, starting to drop into the 60s. And now looking in this direction, yep, it drops to 55 to 60 frames is what we get around this area. Extremely intensive one. So it won't really drop too often, apparently, guys. Look at that. It's very stable. This is surprising. Once again, wow, great GPU right here, guys. Obviously, it's slightly overclocked, but that's just because this MSI Ventus card has a little bit of an issue firmware-wise, and it's around 2% slower than most RTX 4070 Ti Supers. All right, I'm gonna stop it there, guys. We're gonna try it with some DLSS. Here we go. DLSS is set to quality. That renders the game at 1440p and upscales to 4K, still on the ultra settings. And alright, I can see right away things are a little, just a tad bit softer everywhere, but the water, especially at the distance, is what suffers the most here with DLSS. Look at how shimmery that is over there. Yep, it's not very good, but if you can look past that shimmery water, guys, you'll have a very smooth experience here with DLSS enabled on quality. It's always going to stay above 60 FPS. I played for around like 20 minutes before I started recording with DLSS quality, and the FPS locked to 60, and it never dropped from 60 FPS at all, although I didn't really go to this area right here. But obviously, if it only drops to like 55 at native, DLSS gives you quite a lot of performance compared to native, and it is only dropping to what, like 79 minimum. Yeah, this is now a high refresh rate experience. You can definitely have a ton of fun like this, and even without it, of course. So I've just loaded the other save game again. We're back here. Look at that, 120 sometimes 110s over here. Yeah, this is this is absolutely ridiculous performance. It seems like this area is way more optimized than the previous one. Like, we got more detail on screen, right? But it's performing so much better as well. All right, let's kill this guy with the axe and bows. Yes, there we go. Oh, bye. Oh, bye. Okay, I didn't notice there was another one there. All right, let's go. Let's go, buddy. Do this and fight that one as well. Okay, with the arrows. All good. There we go. Come on. I need my axe again. Okay. Good thing, good thing, good thing. Oh my, what the hell happened? What is going on? It's switching the opponent that it's targeting, and it did that. That was very weird. No stuttering or anything, by the way. It's just a weird thing. Right, let's go. Come on, kill this guy. Why are you guys endless? They just don't stop coming. Okay, gonna go up there. Let's go. Kill the bastard. There it is. Okay, Kratos. It's all good, right? It's all good. Grab this as well. Why are there so many people dead here? And why can't I grab things off of the ground without killing all of the guys over here? What the heck is this? But yeah, like, it's very annoying, actually, that you can't pick up things. Where the hell are they coming from? There are so many. What the heck? So weird. Okay, I think that's it now. All right, now we can grab things. See? Like, why? That's pretty weird game design right there. What should we do here? Okay. Interesting. Why am I breaking this thing? Maybe I should have paid attention to what the guy said. Ooh. Oh, yes, it's polluting the air, of course. So we need to destroy the thing. Nice. Okay, so that's been it for 4K with DLSS quality. I'm going back to TAA native. I'm gonna use DLSS Frame Generation right now, which works pretty well in this game as well. And it makes the water not shimmer as much, unless you use DLAA. DLAA makes the water shimmer more for some reason. But yeah, this is it. It's getting 115, so 100 plus FPS, basically the same thing, you know. It might drop into the low 80s sometimes whenever you are in very intensive areas, but yeah, over here it's not going to happen. And even with 80 FPS or like 75 FPS, frame generation still feels good with reflex enabled. The input lag is not annoying at all. It's really, really nice. It feels great. So whether you choose DLSS quality or frame generation, you're gonna have great experiences here at 4K resolution. But I think I would choose the frame generation stuff because not only you get... Can I just go above this, please? Like, what the heck? Okay, well, no, I can't step over gold for some reason. That's weird. As I was saying, yeah. I think I would go with this instead of the DLSS quality because it looks way better when it comes to the water, like this. It's not as shimmery. It's still shimmery. Like, even with TAA native, it's shimmering. Even though TAA native looks very, very good everywhere else, but you can see at the distance, but it's not as bad as DLSS quality or even DLAA, once again. Game looks beautiful, though. I've seen some people saying, oh yeah, it's a last-gen title or a cross-gen title or whatever. It doesn't look that great. I think it does. Like, it has all of these colors. It has great resolution textures. Lighting could be better, yes, but I'm not complaining here. I think it's a very pretty game, in my opinion. And sometimes, especially like during sunset and so on, the lighting does look very pretty as well. So yeah, I think that's it for frame generation stuff. I could go into that very intensive area once again, but you already know it's going to drop into like the low 80s. So there's no point in doing that. It's 100% stable all of the time. Flawless experience here with FG over native resolution. VRAM is also enough with this config, so no problem at all. I think we should go ahead and try the 1440p native resolution next, so I'll need to go to the desktop to set that resolution. And we're back here, guys, at 1440p using TAA Ultra settings preset. As you can see, it gets very high FPS in this area, of course. I am expecting like around 90, maybe 100 FPS minimum in the worst case scenario, but we'll get there a little bit later, okay? This is the target resolution of the RTX 4070 Ti Super after all, so we need to test it out for a little bit longer here at 1440p. Shut up, please. I don't like it when they talk while I'm talking. It messes up with my brain a little. I feel like I should just destroy these guys while they're in stone state, right? That's better. Let's go grab the money here as well. Healing. I didn't really need that, but okay. Let's do it anyways. Yeah, why are they all turned to stone in this area? This is pretty weird. Anyway, thankfully, in a 2024 title at native 1440p... Can I kill that thing? Yes. I didn't earn an achievement or anything. Now I feel bad. Alright, good stuff. And now what? Now we got access to that side and to this side at the same time. Great. What do I do with it? Oh, I see. Maybe I need to use this. No? Okay, so this only moves the bridge, basically. How do I move that one? I don't know. Well, I'm a little bit stuck here, but it's okay, because it's time for us to check out that other area. Alright, here we go, guys. Dropping down into the lower 100s already. Way more intensive in this area where we test it. And I see why some people say, oh, I'm getting more FPS than you with the same GPU. It's because they probably went through this area without even testing it, and this is the most intensive one apparently. Before this part, it's definitely not as intensive as here, and after this part, you saw it, you get like 50 more FPS sometimes. Absolutely crazy discrepancy there. But at least it's always high refresh rate here with the 4070 Ti Super, so no problems at all. 120 FPS here as well. Feels buttery smooth. There's no need to utilize DLSS quality here at 1440p, thankfully. But if you want some frame generation, maybe that's a good idea, because if you're paying attention to the frame time graph, sometimes there is a little spike here and there, and somebody told me it was because of the FG implementation in the game, which I'm not utilizing, but I'm seeing those little spikes again. Look at that. And I didn't really see those with other GPUs that aren't RTX GPUs in this game, so that's a bit weird, and frame generation just removes all of that. Whenever you are using frame generation, there is no frame time spikes anywhere. And we're dropping down into the lower 100s and high 90s already, and looking in this direction, it still drops into like the lower 80s. Ooh, and the enemies are here again, so I loaded a save game that didn't have all of these guys killed yet. Look at that, dropping sometimes into the 90s. Not a problem. Just gonna go back here, by the way, heal myself a little, take a look at this area again, 90 frames, and now 86 frames. I will enable that frame generation, guys, and it will be buttery smooth and amazing. And it already was buttery smooth and amazing, but now it's even better. Look at that. From 86 FPS to 126 FPS. And this is basically minimum frames that we'll see in pretty much the entire game. At least so far, it's the most intensive area that I've seen by far. Maybe because they forgot to optimize this little part of the game. But again, you're just gonna spend maybe 2 minutes tops in this area figuring out this thing and killing these bastards. And there are a ton of them, actually. Let's go. Yeah, boy! Okay, wait a second. Boom! Oh my god! Alright, you two? Okay, let's go! Damn! I love the brutal kills here in God of War, guys. Not counting the FPS, I forgot about it, but obviously it's not really needed either, because it's super buttery smooth. Yeah, it's going to be high refresh rate all of the time, and in the worst case scenario, it's going to drop into like the 120s. Now it's not even dropping into the 120s, so super high refresh rate here. For a 240 Hz monitor, it's going to be perfect, actually, because outside of this very intensive area, it should get up into the 200s, you know? And I'm going to try that out now. 180s, 170s. Really good. Now, of course, I'm only utilizing 120 Hz here with the capture card, but this would be buttery smooth on a 240 Hz 1440p panel. Absolutely amazing. Wow, look at that, touching 200 FPS sometimes. Crazy stuff, right? Now, granted, this is one of the easier parts of the game to run, apparently. I didn't really know it before I started recording this video, but yeah, it's so smooth. It's going to be amazing, guys. You don't need FG, but it delivers a buttery smooth experience with it. It's so good. Now let's go down to 1080p resolution, guys. This is obviously not the target res for this card, but I guess some people out there might actually still be playing at 1080p with it. And look at that. We're getting super high refresh rate experience, obviously about like what, 20 to 30 frames higher than at native 1440, around this area. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to spend a lot of time here at 1080p resolution, honestly. I could also go to the other more intensive area to see how it performs, but I mean, it dropped to like, what, 80-something, 90 FPS minimum at 1440p resolution, native. So here it would probably drop to like 100 FPS minimum, which is still very, very smooth, of course. So if you want native res at 1080p, this is the way to go. Also, you could use some DLAA. I haven't touched the DLAA in this video, but it looks good, especially outside of the water. But I'm seeing a lot of water here in this particular part of the game, and so are you, of course. The TAA actually looks a little bit better in the water than DLAA does. I'm just gonna enable some frame generation here for fun. And now, look at that. Holy crap. Crazy stuff. Very similar results to what we got with the 4080 Super, but once again, with the 4080 Super, I wasn't playing in this less intensive area. I was only testing it in the most intensive one, and that's why the results might seem similar between these two cards, but they're not really. The 4080 Super is around, what, like 20% faster than this still, so we would be seeing like 300 frames per second or something like that around here with that GPU. Alright, let's go this way. Little puzzles everywhere. You know, I like that the little puzzles aren't too difficult in this game. Sometimes there are games where I just want to benchmark them and I spend like half an hour in a single puzzle because I'm not very good at it. You know? But anyways, let's go kill these bastards again. Use your arrows, buddy, please. It is absolutely perfect of an experience, of course, at 1080p resolution. No doubt about it. And once again, it was expected. Let me know if you are playing at 1080p with a 4070 Ti Super down in the comments. I know for sure that one of you is. And one of you was looking for the little benchmark here at 1080p. Well, you got nothing to worry about. Even if you have a 4K monitor with this, it's going to be perfect every single time. Well, every single time except for that little area where it drops from 60 FPS at native 4K. But just enable frame generation is going to be perfect. Thanks very much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.